Foxridge Park, Henderson, Nevada. Some say that this seemingly mundane, spacious park in the suburbs of Las Vegas contains more than green grass, trees, and a jungle gym. It is believed that there is something supernatural in this park. Some would say, even sinister. Legend has it that a young boy was struck down by the intoxicated driver of a vehicle and killed while chasing his ball into the street near the park. It is also said that if you visit the park swing set after midnight, you can still meet him. According to some reports, the little boy likes to swing alone. And if you look him in the eyes, his face will turn into a demon as he vanishes. Is this a true story, or a product of the tourism industry? Come with us on our quest to discover the truth of the legend of the Foxridge Ghost. Our investigation began with a basic internet search. Google provided us with several sites discussing the haunting. Many of these sites contained anecdotes from people claiming to have seen something in the park, or a rehashing of the infamous story. Others had examples of supposed photographic evidence of the specter at the swing set. Amidst the material we came upon, one piece stood out. An article on a blog called Jeremy the Skeptic. The author of the blog, then local journalist Jeremy Schwartz, had performed his own investigation of the park in 2008. Jeremy's article is what would become the foundation of our own investigation.
If the cops do show up, just stay put and I'll talk to them.
It's funny, we're like,
Yeah, you do the talking, okay? Like, all of us just shut up.
Why shouldn't we do this? Why is this a bad idea?
This is not a bad idea.
Let's
This
see,
is the only way our
because
movie is going to get
There's
made.
a sign up here
What is gonna happen?
that says right there, but not that one. Oh, shoot.
That one says security cameras and
No, that's not the right sign. But there's one up here that says do not enter.
So, this is the only way the film's gonna get done?
yeah, that's what I'm saying, because
I think so.
ain't nobody going to let us in here legitimately.
Not good at all.
no, it's a terrible idea.
Here you go.
But if we get caught, we have plenty to get to the police.
Check out this sign.
Bad idea.
We figured we should ourselves become acquainted with the boy's ghost if we were to be making a film about him, so we set out to meet him straight away. However, as you can see, we were met with immediate resistance.
Okay, right now we're having issues because the park is closed. So Danny over here is trying to figure out if we can get in. And
Let yourself in.
yeah, don't get hurt over there, bro. Oh my god. Oh shoot, bro.
Okay.
Oh god.
Go. Everybody over now, ladies too.
Oh my god.
Come on. Yo, we dying hard. If we gonna die, we die hard. We got our school IDs. Fuck this shit.
Oh my god, bro.
This is dirt.
Oh
Dirt right here.
god, bro.
You want to give it to me? And I'll just be lookout?
Here, here, I can wait behind. I'm nervous about it anyway. Here you go.
Come on, y'all.
Alright, so shit's still closed. So we ended up hopping the fence to get in here. So hopefully something pans out. Yeah, we're probably just gonna run into some homeless people. Alright, so here's the swing set. As you can see, because of construction, there are no swings. Well, that's a bummer. And I don't know that we should hang out in here long enough to fucking sit down and do the whole Ghost Hunter EVP fucking can you hear me ghost kid shit.
No.
And without the swing here, there's nothing really to see. Fuck.
We decided at this juncture that it may be beneficial for us to get the advice of a professional research team with experience investigating the location for the paranormal. For this, we turn to the members of Proof NV.
We are Proof NV, and we are we've been doing the paranormal investigation for how long now?
As overall, since December of 2010 is when we started.
And before that, we were part of another paranormal group, which was GARP. And that group, we actually did investigations at the Foxridge Park, and then we did it as Proof as well. But we are, we basically are just everyday people that just ghost hunt. We decided to go to the park because we were hearing different groups were saying that it was haunted. And also we read in a book the legend, and it was part of a ghost tour. So we were wanting to just test out our equipment. I think that's why we went, because we wanted to try our
Just
EMF
new.
and just all our different equipment. So we went to the park, and when we were walking upon, the different times, the one time we went, there was somebody doing the Ouija board, right?
Yeah, that was the second time.
The second time we went, because it's kind of, because we've done different investigations there over the years. So we went in with our equipment. There's several of us, because there's more members of our team, and we kind of spread out through the park around the swings that are supposedly supposed to be haunted, and set up our EMFs throughout the different spots. Also with the spirit box as well.
Box,
What else did we bring?
K2 meters, all that stuff, mel meters. So.
And I'm trying to think what else. That's about it, right?
I know one time we brought the trigger objects. We brought some footballs, and because it's supposed to be a little boy that haunts the park, so we brought some footballs as trigger objects to see if he would move them or throw them or whatever. But
yeah, something to entice him to come to the swings or to play or answer, because supposedly it's supposed to be a child that was hit by a car, the legend goes, and then haunts the park. There's many different things, but no one really knows what's there. So anyways, we set down the equipment, and as we were doing the equipment, we're watching the different meters, the EMF meters, and we noticed that there was a pattern of the lights that go up and down. And as they were going up and down, they were fluctuating, correct? Like up and down, and that means there's a power source. So I think what a lot of people say, that their EMFs are going off, that they're not really paying attention to the fact that it's, a power source on there. You have to have some form of electricity to make it move. But
right, well, there's lights at the park, and that's what was causing the EMF to go off on our K2s and mel meters, was just the electricity powering those lights.
And then the other thing that was going on is we also put on the swing, and we noticed that the swing, how people say that the swing is that it just moves on its own. Well, the base of the swing, it's the old school swing, the ones that are very heavy, that really heavy plastic. Is it plastic or
Plastic, like a rubber.
Rubber. And if you barely touch it, it moves. and the
Even with like a light breeze, like it'll just
move. And you're supposed to sit in the swing, and the kid's supposed to appear. If you sit in the swing, because he doesn't like you sitting on the farthest swing, is it?
I think like the left one or something.
Yeah, and that he'll push you off or he'll do something. So of course we sat in it, nothing happened. What else? Gosh, there was really nothing to say that it was haunted, I would say, because we tried different things. We did get some EMFs and hits on the spirits box. What else? What did it say?
I don't remember all the answers.
I remember the name Jim came up for some reason, but there's no name to the child. There's no legend. And car crash, Jim,
Right.
car crash, and that's about it. I read the legend in the Weird Las Vegas in Nevada book, and then we also heard about it because actually I had a friend that went on the tour, the Ghost Haunted Las Vegas tour, and it takes you to all these different spots. And then we heard it was basically the same legend, but there was nothing that filled out further about it. It's the same, just basic little legend about a little boy that was hit by a car. Some say he snuck out from his home. And then also, what else?
That he was playing in the park and a ball rolled in the street, and he went to retrieve the ball, and then a drunk driver hit him. And then that he snuck out of his house to go play in the park, and he was hit by a car at like midnight. And that's why at midnight is when they say when you approach the swing that he appears as a demonic.
Yeah, but there's no evidence. There's no, Eric, who does research, has gone and looked to see if there's any evidence of any children of dying in the last
And not to say that, that didn't happen, but I couldn't find any newspaper articles on a child being hit by a drunk driver in that on that street.
I've been trying to make contact with Janice Oberding, the author of such books as Haunted Nevada and The Haunting of Las Vegas, since the beginning of the investigation. Her book on Las Vegas comes up pretty quickly when searching Foxridge Ghost, and is the only book I could find that featured the story. However, when Oberding did get back with us, what she had to say was pretty disappointing. Oberding related to me through a social media's instant messenger that she was not actually an expert on the legend, and that this distinction had belonged to a friend of hers, a Mr. Robert Allen of the Las Vegas Ghost Tours, who had passed away since the writing of her book. This wouldn't be the last time we heard about the Las Vegas Ghost Tours. Our luck was getting better, though. My determination to contact Jeremy the Skeptic had finally paid off. After multiple attempts to reach out to him via social media, I received email from Jeremy Schwartz, in which he expressed enthusiasm for participating with us. With Jeremy now living a couple states away, we quickly arranged for a remote interview to get a better understanding of where his journey had led him years ago.
All right, Jeremy. So you did a story on Foxridge in what, 2006?
2008 is what.
2008.
So it was late summer or so, 2008.
All right. So what led you to want to do that article?
Well, I had been I had recently not recently, but had been involved with kind of skepticism and critical thinking for a while, and I started a blog way back in the day called Jeremy the Skeptic, and I would write about kind of paranormal and weird stuff in the news, sort of from a critical thinking standpoint. And I heard about Foxridge Park through a ghost tour, a Las Vegas ghost tour that I was going to go on later that summer with my then girlfriend. And I decided that I was looking up a bit of information about the Foxridge Park ghost, and I realized that it was relatively right around the corner from where I was living at the time, my parents' house. I was home for the summer from college. And so I figured, hey, what the hell, why not try to look into this a little bit my own self? And that's kind of what prompted it.
Your article kind of led you down a path to nowhere, right? Like that's kind of where our investigation's going too.
I'm reading it a few times since you contacted me. I realized that I had a lot of sort of loose ends in there that I wrote, oh, I'm going to follow up with this guy next week or something. And for a variety of reasons, many of which I can't remember, given that it was 10 years ago now, I don't really know why I didn't follow up. But I was able to kind of figure out that, or really, the main thing I seem to have found was that there's not really mention of this before about 06 or 05, 2006 or 2005 or so, because there's a few authors that I mentioned. One of them is a Janice Oberding, and she wrote a book about Las Vegas hauntings, and I think it was 04 or 05, and she doesn't mention it, but then a later book of hers, a few years later does. So I was just kind of being a little snarky in my blog post, admittedly, trying to figure out why it was mentioned just a few years prior to a book that was published in 08 and 09, but wasn't mentioned before that.
Gotcha. Yeah, we actually contacted Oberding, and she apparently claims not to be a knowledge source for this topic, which I thought was weird since she wrote the book. Like literally.
Oh, she doesn't claim to be any kind of expert on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, neither am I, just to be clear, but it was fine because you think, I mean, a news story about a kid, because the way the story goes, it's a kid who was at the park and was killed by a drunk driver, and now this kid haunts the park and makes the swing and stuff. And you think that would show up in newspaper reports and things. And I found a number of memorial plaques around the park when I went there, and I couldn't connect any of the plaques with any newspaper stories that had anything to do with a kid getting hit by a drunk driver or anything. And there was one piece that I saw, or that I found through an email with representative of a ghost investigator group that said, oh yeah, and also there's a woman who was killed by an axe that also haunts the park. Couldn't find anything on that. I mean, there was the story of the kid haunting the park was pretty consistent, but there was only that one mention of a woman who was killed by an axe.
Wow.
It's how do you feel about right now? We're kind of like we're almost coming to the same conclusion. We're getting suspicious of the Vegas ghost tour as being the culprit.
Well, I mean the Vegas ghost tour, excuse me. I'm not at the point where I can sort of point any figures and say, oh, these were the first people to ever mention this story, therefore they must have made it up. I mean, anyone, anywhere really could have just thought of, hey, no, it would be a cool thing to draw attention to this part, a ghost story, you know? And there's all sorts of rationale and all sorts of possible reasons for coming up with a story like this, and it's like most things, like most ghost stories like this, it's very difficult to track down sort of the source and be able to say, case closed, this story came from person X or person Y. But it's definitely fun to kind of go down the rabbit hole with.
So, did you go to the park yourself? I mean, I know you said that you walked around like the memorials and everything.
Yeah, I went there. Admittedly, I went there in the daytime. I mean, I don't know why ghosts only seem to come out at night. But I did go there in the daytime because I was trying to find any information about I figured if a little boy was really killed by a drunk driver, there'd be a memorial of some sort, even if it was just a bunch of flowers tied to a tree. Didn't find anything to that regard. I went there and took pictures of the memorial plaques I could find, and none of them, from what I could find in newspaper archives, were connected with a little boy who died because of a drunk driver, or a woman who was killed who was murdered by an axe anyway. So I admittedly didn't go there at night. I didn't do the traditional ghost hunting thing because, I mean, showing my bias here, I don't really think there is a ghost, but I did try to go there in the daytime to forward my more tangible research into the topic, let's say.
Something again, like
Just making them stop.
Is the little dot there still on the right?
Where is it?
What the heck is that?
Michael,
What
come
is
record the
that?
screen
Michael,
on this.
what the heck is... Something is by you, bro. Can you take a screenshot?
Here, you want to take a screenshot?
Yeah, hold on. I mean, I don't know if it's like that, but I'm going to take it anyway.
Did that happen before you?
No.
Or did you start using this for the first time?
No, I've used it several times and that's never popped up. But it could just be like something. It's there. Right. Oh, it's creepy. What does it say?
He said, help, please help. And I said, how so? Alone?
I am alone?
Alright, fine.
Well, no crap.
Oh, you could do that.
You're just gonna get closer?
Yes.
That's weird how it stays on that side. I've never seen that before on that. So that kind of freaky. I took a screenshot.
Okay.
Is it still there?
Yep. Except it's smaller over here. Let me see.
See how small it can get.
Yeah, let me. Oh, well, your battery's running out. Hold on.
Oh hell!
Okay, let me see.
Is it like a boy size?
It is kid size.
What?
Okay, well, it's not showing everything over here, but when I go on this side, did it go away?
Is it gone?
No, it's still there. Now you're moving. Why are you moving? He's moving.
It's moving.
Where is it moving to?
It's still like around the swing set area on the right.
Nothing else. This makes it more fun.
Right?
You are your heart. Fucking spell
Is
check.
it, are you a whore? No, are you hurt? No. So it said, are you afraid?
Well, thanks a lot. Where is it supposed to be? Like right here-ish?
Oh, you're telling his name. I was like, the boy's name's not Ian.
Am I like standing
You're
close to it?
You're close to it, but it's
Tell me
more
when I'm
towards the
in
right.
it.
You're basically on top of him now. Like he's in front of you.
Do you believe? How about now?
Closer.
Yeah. Move over to the right a little bit more. Right. This way.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my right. Okay, now yeah, you're basically on him now.
Do you believe? Well, believe in what? This? A little. I'm freezing right now because I'm so cold from the car ride. Okay, so basically I'm standing in it and nothing's happening.
He's telling Danny to get out because he's kind of standing in his personal space.
Do you want me to leave? No, it said who, Danny? I asked who, Danny, and then it said devil.
Oh, got it. Oh, it's gone now.
Oh, man.
Man!
Well, at least you got the screenshots.
Yeah, where'd you go? It should be. Try typing ghost detector again.
Well, I have to turn my data.
He's on the other swing, Dan.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he riding it?
No, it's moving towards you now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Oh, he's gone.
Okay. Move towards me. So we have this device down here on the ground that you can talk into if you so would like. And you can tell us things. And we'll hear them later. And then we can come back and talk to you more. So, is there a little boy at the swing set? Are you around?
Melody saying is this.
Were you talking to us when we had the app going on the phone? Could we see you through the phone? Were you standing here a few minutes ago? Give me a minute.
How old are you?
Give me one bit of a minute. If you are here, why did you choose the park to hang out at all the time? Did you used to come here a lot? I'd like to tag that that's somebody's phone doing stuff,
Yeah.
and that my phone just went off.
I'm trying to figure out how to ask it, like what year, or maybe like.
Probably longer than how.
Yeah, how long have you been here?
How long have you been here? What's your name?
I can get a Ouija table.
Sure.
I love how everyone's all for it. Do you like to pick on people? I told you it's I wish.
Well,
What was that?
I don't know, there are weird birds in here though, because we were hearing that when we came in the first time.
what was?
There's some weird birds make weird noises. We heard it during the day too.
Are you alone at this park?
Okay, I think you're gonna cut that right there.
This is interesting.
How many people are here with you? Well, that's a stupid question. He could just count us.
All right. Well, I'm probably gonna take a seat on your swing.
Do you like being crap, I didn't ask that right. Scratch that. Do you like being a part of the ghost tour? Because, yeah, the van kind of comes by here. Kind of, if I was a ghost, I probably wouldn't like to be used as a tourist attraction.
Spied upon.
How did you die?
Wow, why did we so blunt?
I'm just questioning. I can't feel my toes. Is that bird annoying you? Because that bird's annoying me, Ghost.
This isn't showing a whole lot.
What? In the trees?
Get on him, go on him. Go on him, Michael.
What?
I don't know. I was just telling Michael to go on him instead.
You see something?
I saw something.
Where? Over there?
It looked like a shoe.
What?
Where at?
Okay, look. This is how I saw it. Basically, it was kind of like this. Look at my left side, and then I
Okay.
saw this. I saw this running really fast. Imagine that running
Over there?
in the grass fields.
Oh, shoot, bro.
Like it caught my eye a little bit. I'm pretty sure that wasn't a moth. That was not light. If anything, that's not a butterfly. Or
Was it a shadow?
it can't be a shadow. It was white.
What?
It was white.
Oh, man.
I mean, I wish I wasn't lying.
I know, I saw your reaction. You jumped up like really quick.
Because I caught it at the glimpse of my eye.
Was it small?
It was. I mean, it could have been. It was only just like a little bit, like the lower half of a feet, probably like up to here to your like shin.
Are you here?
No, it could have been the cars either, because there's no way the lights came.
No, the light's not going to carry that far.
And there's no way those lights even a little bit far down.
And the street lights wouldn't do it.
It was like fast. It looked like freaking fast air.
Huh. Keep an eye out on that side.
Okay. So was that you running across the field then? I'm pretty sure it was, because I caught that glimpse, because there's no way.
Are you spooking the birds now?
Did you hear what we said about the birds annoying us? Are you trying to scare them now?
There's no way that was anything else. Even my...
That's
No,
creepy.
not even my glasses, my lenses, even though they had like a smudge on them. There's no
Mine
way.
don't do that, yeah.
No, even the smudge is not even that white on my freaking glasses. There's no way even with that. That literally looked like a freaking
Like a white.
literally like one part of a leg just running across the grass field.
Shoot.
It literally just looks like that. And there's no way that you get like this sense that you know that something is.
I just saw it too. I'm not even freaking kidding. Over there by the, in between, see that tree, the tree right here? Straight ahead?
You saw that white thing?
Yeah, I did. It was right here by this tree.
That tree?
That tree right there, yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing? Are you crazy?
Dude, that's
It was straight. To the right. Keep going. Right. To your right. To your right. Keep going. Your next tree. That one right there. Yep. That one. Right where you're standing is where I saw it. And it was only half of a torso. The bottom feet.
You saw like it was like a.
It looked like just like a leg, and it like ran and kind of faded away, so I'm not sure. It looked like a light.
It looked like this.
Yeah. It's kind of freaky. So right where you were standing is where I saw it, and it went behind the tree. And then I guess it went away, because I don't, yeah. I was thinking maybe it'd be like a reflective, like a bike thing, or like a piece of like a reflector or something that maybe like was laying over there. But,
Right.
No, it looked like what he was saying. I'm gonna keep an eye out over there now. But then you always hear if you watch something, you're not gonna see it. Hey! I just saw something right where that tree is. Yep, right by you. Yep. It was smaller though. Not even exaggerating, like the same tree.
It's got to be something natural then.
The same tree. It wasn't white though. It was like black this time. It was by that same tree. The same one that I saw it the first time. No, the one that you were at the first time, to the right. Yeah. Look around there, make sure there's nothing. Like, yeah, right there. It like went behind the freaking tree. Try to look around there and see if there's anything. Because it has to be something natural, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything over there?
Jesus Christ, I just got scared because of his shadow.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I was looking through the viewfinder.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to like stare at it because then I know I'm not going to see anything.
I mean, because, okay, there's a light over here.
Yeah. And there's street lights over there, just cars.
Yeah. And there's that big-ass bright light right across from us that could be reflecting off of anything.
Okay. But wouldn't it be constant or somewhat constant?
Depends on how random of whatever is causing the reflection would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but you'd think we'd see some kind of pattern, like.
I know. And it's just being kind of random.
Because, like, there's cars driving by right now. Well, not right now, but a second ago there's cars driving by.
Like, next time a car passes by, I'm going to stare over there and see if I see it again. Try to find it. Anything?
I already saw you there multiple times. There's my shadows right here. So if you really were here, you would be near the tree. Oh jeez, your freaking shadow scared me. Fucking hell. Oh, jeez, don't ever do that again. Let me know when you come by, because your shadow literally just spooked me a bit. Okay, so you said she saw it around here, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. Were you next to the trees? These trees over here. I want to know if you can. You could. Whoops. Oh, dang it. F it. That'll work. Because if you were, you could just knock down one of the pine trees or make a noise on the trunks on it. Either that or the wall.
Do you want me not to?
Yeah, it was weird, okay? So he said he saw like small white feet, or a white feet, like half of a body, like kind of running like in between like this fence here whenever we were sitting over there on the swing set. After he said that, I saw small white feet, half of a torso. They were really small, running like over there by that third tree. The third tree. So you see the one tree, two, it was the third one. So I saw it over there, and then he walked to the furthest tree, the left tree, and I saw it again when he was walking over there, but it was smaller. It was more like a flicker. It wasn't really like the whole full running of the feet. Then I saw back on the right tree, it wasn't white, it was black, and it ran behind the tree. So now they're going over there to look around this tree to see maybe if there's anything that's reflecting it, if I really did see something, if he saw something. So we're kind of trying to figure it out right now, and that's what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
Maybe something will happen.
I reckon the best use of our time would be for me to come back over here with you.
And just mess around with the swing set.
Yeah.
So this swing here, I think this one's the haunted one because this is the one that we got with the ghost detector. But this one's been acting weird too, so I'm not exactly sure which one it is. So hopefully I'm not making anyone mad by swinging on the swing set. Let's see. Supposedly the swing is supposed to move by itself. And nothing's really happened. It hadn't been swinging or anything, so.
Might just be an ill-behaved dog.
They know. Because dogs can easily sense it. They know. They can sense like the feeling of it. They can sense emotion from a human. Like, I don't really get the sense of anyone's watching me at all.
Yeah.
There is no presence. There is no like presence. It just feels normal. The only thing I'm hating about the presence is that it's cold as hell.
Yeah. I think there was something at the park because he saw something like the bottom of someone's feet, like half of I guess from like almost the knee down, and he said it was white. Well, whenever he said that, shortly after I saw something run behind a tree, and it was white, and it looked like half of a torso, just like he was talking about. And then he went over there to check it out, and then I saw it move to another tree. So he went to that tree, nothing. And then when he was at the left tree, I saw it by the right tree again. So it was just kind of weird, and then after that, we just didn't see it anymore after that. But it was really weird because it looked like half of like a small torso. Not torso, but like a bottom half, like it was just legs, and it was white and kind of like transparent.
We gotta make the left on Green Valley.
Ah, shit.
So it was really weird. I'd never really seen anything like that before. Nothing actually happened, I don't think, around the actual swing set. But it did by the trees and like by the gate, and it was just weird. Now we did catch.
Turn left.
Okay. We did catch. I had this app on my phone, and it was just like supposedly like a ghost detector type of thing. So we didn't know how serious to take it, but it had like a dot, which shows where the ghost is, I guess, on the right swing, and then. The dot moved to the left swing, then back to the right swing, and then there was like a figure on the app that was just kind of standing there.
It was hovering.
It was like hovering, and it was really weird. like, because it was saying, you know, buried by the road or got killed by the road or something like that. And then it was saying, I asked if it was a boy or girl though, and it said girl. And then I said, you know, how old are you? It didn't really answer that question. I asked it a few other things, and I don't know, I'm trying to remember what I asked it now that I think about it. It said daddy for some reason, which was really weird, because it said, you know, are you afraid or something, and it said daddy.
Well, it could be the fact that
Yeah.
his family was there, and he probably must have been there.
Yeah, maybe.
Somewhere. Something he was a daddy.
And it kept saying, get out, like, you know, leave, and it said, I'm scared, I feel alone. And it was just saying weird things like that, but then it said swing set, okay, like, it was saying something about the swing set. It was saying, it said, I like the swing set. And we tried asking it, you know, more specific questions after that, like, what color do you like, things like that, but nothing really came of it. So I don't know exactly, you know, it just kind of stopped making sense after that. But I kind of think we did kind of catch something from that app. It was really interesting, actually. Like, it was being really specific at times. But then we just kind of, my phone died, so we had to turn it off, which was such a bummer. Because at one point, Danny was sitting on the right swing, and it was sitting on the left swing, and then it just, like, went away, like, instantly. Like, it was just gone. And then it was behind us towards the other swing set, and it was just really freaky at that point, because it just kind of, like, poofed from one spot and then appeared in another, and then it was just weird. And that's kind of what we caught. I don't know if anyone else wants to add anything.
Yeah.